When Dapperton made his video on youth liberation, I was part of the brigade that helped take him down. I kept an eye out for Leon ever since his account was shut down. His Patreon mentioned that he planned to make a comeback, and when I found out he did came back, I was the first to inform Dapperton of his return. Not only that, but I made a video on him. I also wanted to give him a platform to speak on and see if he can change his mind. However, since his account was once again removed, I have no way to contact Leon. Still, if there's even a slight chance that he might return, I have to contact him before I show his video towards Dapperton. If he's really wanting to debate, then who am I to prevent him from doing so? Until that happens though, I'm stuck here just waiting. But what I found is something that requires my attention. Someone defending youth liberation. At first I thought it was youth liberation himself with a full-grown beard, but after a closer look, it's not him. But I really am wishing that it was him. Still, you'd think that no one would ever play devil's advocate for a pedophile aside from Amos Yee. Yet, here he is. A video playing devil's advocate for a pedophile. This is gonna be one of those ugly videos.
Hello YouTube, it's Johnathan here. Yeah, I'm just walking around thinking. Yeah, my whole thing is like, I don't understand why people, like I told you in my last video, why do people get rid of people who are just trying to educate people?
He's talking about the likes of youth liberation. There's a time and place to educate people on certain topics, but being a pedophile is not a topic that should be taught anywhere. There's a reason for that. The negative impacts that pedophilia causes can last a lifetime. Hell, just ask Tabby Wetzel.
Like youth liberation in a way. Like, people have no right to get rid of someone's page that doesn't promote bad. Just because you're promoting pedophilia, doesn't mean you're fucking kidnapping children, dude.
Who says anything about kidnapping children? You don't have to kidnap children to have sex! Though, why would you have sex with a child is something worth noting. The concept of wanting to have sex with a child is against YouTube terms of service, and it is one of the most vile and disgusting acts that anyone can come up with.
It doesn't mean you are. I mean, see, look it. Nobody has a problem seeing a woman educate a child because most people are turned on by women.
So you're saying because youth liberation's a guy, he will get shitted on? Dude! You can be a woman and still be called out for a fucking pedophile. This has nothing to do with him being a man. Not to mention that you've forgotten the fact that a classroom can be filled with boys and girls, and not every teacher's a goddamn woman. I had male teachers before, and some of them were better than the women. You really think I was just rubbing my dick at 6th grade while looking at my teacher? God, you are fucking weird.
And by the time the boy reaches, like, puberty, he's gonna be most likely turned on by women. Because gays are still looked down at a certain way, gay guys. And if you're a bisexual guy, you have to keep that under the closet, no different than the 1950s.
Okay, don't try to compare something that has no negative effects to something that could leave a mental scar on a child. I'm not saying homophobia doesn't exist, by the way.
Otherwise, you would be considered mental. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I understand why conservatives, like, that many conservatives on YouTube are against things. I understand why, but you have to understand something. Pedos are not the bad, not always what you think they are. Molesters can be terrible. Of course they can. They take advantage of the youth. But just because you're sexually attracted to the youth and stuff like that, doesn't mean you support kidnapping and you support the bad. I mean,
again, you don't have to kidnap children to want to have sex with a child. In fact, most children don't even know what's going on until it's too late.
I mean, you support good and bad no matter what you do. You represent the good and the bad no matter what it is. I mean, and that's the sad part. It's because kids were never allowed to be educated in certain ways. This really doesn't even have anything to do with sex, really. This has to do with educating them.
If you have a sexual attraction towards children, then you have a problem. Hey, kids! I want to have sex with you! See how fucked up that is? You're no different than an SJW. You think that teaching children certain things is cool, but you have no idea about the negative consequences.
More than just that. It's not even about just youth liberation, talking about how, like, how to represent something positive, but at the same time, it's about educating the youth that the youth can work. Look at this one boy who's 14 on some post that he's running for governor of Vermont, and he's 14 years old. It's all how you're being taught. It's what mentors you have in your life, and it depends on the kid. Can the person really learn fast enough? It all depends. I mean,
youth liberation is the last person who should teach children about anything. Youth liberation should be rotting in jail, or at least being forced to inform everyone that he's a fucking pedophile.
Just like you have child killers, they could be represented in the bad way by growing up in a certain type of world, and a group of people like gangs and stuff like that where they have to survive. See, I get aggravated when people bully people like this, like Amos Yee, because it's freedom of speech, even friggin' youth liberation. People have problems with women doing things.
Amos Yee and Leon had the freedom to speak their minds, but I also believe there should be consequences for their words. If there wasn't, then I could say anything extreme and no one would bat an eye. That's the problem with people like you. You think that what you say should not face any dire consequences. All you could do is call it bullying or harassment.
Because again, everybody looks at women as more nurturers, and the fact more people are going to be sexually attracted to women than over a guy, which is kind of ridiculous, because we need to get past these things. We need to represent things positively rather than negatively.
There is no way in the world that you can represent something as vile and disgusting as the attraction towards children positive.
And I gotta stop focused, like I told you, on this feminism garbage. Stop focusing on these dummy women that want to act like they only the ones that can represent things positively, when there's plenty of guys who can represent things in a positive way too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jen's right about a lot of things too, but the point is, we need to get past this crap. I mean, this is ridiculous.
What's ridiculous is that you don't know how to turn your phone sideways and make a proper YouTube video. For fuck's sakes, even Johnathan has a better camera than you, and all he has is a web camera. It's shocking to find someone even lower than Johnathan when it comes to quality.
This is so ridiculous that you can't express yourself the right ways as guys. It's just, I don't know, but you have to think positive and be around positivity.
So just one giant safe space. Gotcha.
That's just my point here. But what do I know?
Seeing that your logic is basically you spotting out that people have the right to express themselves without consequences show that you are not meant to have a platform to speak on. You failed your basic understanding on how people react to certain words. Right now, I'm making a video on you because what you're saying is batshit insane. My video is the end result of what you have made. And I have the feeling that you'll end up making another video to defend yourself. I'm really hoping you're not going to play the victim card like Youth Liberation did, cause that's just weak.